Dade, don't close the bathroom door. I need the natural light for my TikTok. That was the precise moment I realized I no longer ruled my own castle. Let me rewind. I'm 42 years old, a mechanical engineer by trade, and up until recently, I believed in a few basic truths. Coffee must be strong, socks must match, and the bathroom was sacred ground. A haven, a refuge, a sanctuary. But in a house with 2 kids, a high-powered wife working remotely, and more ring lights than floor lamps, even that last truth has been shattered. I came home that evening completely fried. I'd spent the day arguing with a client who wanted to save money by duct taping parts of a ventilation system again. All I wanted was a hot shower and 30 minutes of uninterrupted silence. No spreadsheets, no beeping, no screaming, just me, water, and blissful solitude. I padded into the bathroom with a fresh towel, humming quietly, only to be ambushed by my 14-year-old daughter, Sophie, sliding in like a SWAT team member, except she was holding a phone instead of a weapon. Don't fog up the mirror. That lighting is perfect right now. Excuse me? I said mid-step. She tilted her phone like a director on a film set. Dad, I only need 10 minutes to shoot this skincare video. The steam from your shower will ruin the vibe. I blinked, still holding my towel like a defeated gladiator. Sophie, I've been on my feet since 6:30 a.m. I survived a near-death experience involving an elevator shaft and a rogue intern. All I want is to shower. In private. She gave me the look. You know the one. Equal parts why are you ruining my life, and you'll never understand this generation. I sighed and turned back toward the hallway, where my son Ethan was doing his nightly drum solo, which sounded suspiciously like a herd of raccoons falling down a metal staircase, and my wife Linda was pacing our bedroom on her 5th Zoom call of the day. Back on the couch, I slumped down and stared at the ceiling. I could feel the steam I was supposed to be enjoying rising from the bathroom. Instead of peace, all I had was TikTok and tinnitus. Linda walked by, Bluetooth headset still in her ear. She glanced at me with a mix of sympathy and amusement. Trouble in Spa Dadland, she whispered. I grunted. She smiled, gently rubbing my shoulder. You know, you used to sing in the shower when we first got married. Loudly. Off-key. I thought it was sweet. I chuckled. Now I can't even hum without getting permission. She leaned down and kissed my forehead before returning to her meeting. I sat there a while longer thinking. This house used to feel like mine. Now it felt like I was squatting in a social media startup. I'd become the unpaid background actor in a reality show I never auditioned for. Eventually, Sophie came out of the bathroom holding her phone triumphantly. Thanks, Dad. You can shower now. I looked at her. Something in her eyes, soft, just for a moment, caught me off guard. She didn't say it, but I could tell she noticed I was annoyed. Maybe even a little hurt. Was it at least a good video? I muttered, standing. She grinned. It was great. You should have seen your reflection in the background. You looked like a confused sea lion. I gave her a deadpan stare. She laughed, then skipped off toward her room. As I finally stepped into the bathroom, warm water cascading over my shoulders, I tried to wash away the feeling that I was being left behind in my own home. My daughter was growing up in a digital world I barely understood. I missed when bedtime stories were our bonding ritual. Now it was ring lights and retakes. But little did I know, that ridiculous, stolen moment in the mirror was about to change everything. I walked into the kitchen the next morning expecting toast, coffee, and maybe, if the gods were kind, silence. Instead, I was greeted by Sophie gasping, clutching her phone like it had just declared war. Dad, she cried. You're blowing up. I paused. Blowing up? What? TikTok? One of my videos went viral, and you're in it. She turned the screen toward me. There I was, towel around my waist, toothbrush in one hand, singing Eye of the Tiger with complete abandon as I strutted across the steamy bathroom floor. Unaware, unprepared, utterly off-pitch. The caption, POV, your dad thinks he's alone in the bathroom. Over 1.8 million views. I stared at the screen. Sophie, why am I on the internet half naked? I didn't mean to post it, she squeaked. It was in my drafts. I must have hit upload by accident. But look at the comments. This man is a national treasure. We need a whole dad series. He's giving retired rock star energy. I love it. Somehow that made it worse. I have coworkers who follow you, Sophie. Coworkers. She bit her lip, trying to hide a laugh. You've got great towel presence. I was fuming. Or maybe just flustered. Hard to tell the difference at that point. Take it down, I said. She hesitated. Dad, people really love it. It's making them smile. That stopped me cold. She tapped the screen and showed me a comment that simply read, I lost my dad last year. Watching yours be silly like this made me cry, but in a good way. Thank you. The room got very quiet. Sophie looked up at me. Her eyes weren't playful this time. They were hopeful, vulnerable. I know it was an accident, but maybe it was a good one. I sat down at the table. The kettle clicked off behind me. The morning sun spilled across the floor like nothing unusual had happened. Except something had. All right, I said slowly. But if I'm going to be on this. Tic-tac, tick-tock, she corrected. Whatever. If I'm going to be on it, I want approval rights. Sophie's face lit up like Christmas. Deal. Also, would you maybe want to be in an actual video? Like on purpose? I stared at her. The girl who used to hold my hand in parking lots. The girl who now choreographed dances I couldn't pronounce. And I said the most ridiculous, dad-like thing I could have said. As long as it doesn't involve glitter. She laughed. And just like that, I became more than just background noise in her world. I became her co-star. So this is how it starts, I thought. 1 minute, you're a respectable father, fixing leaky faucets and telling dad jokes that nobody laughs at, and the next, you're nervously sweating under a ring light while your teenage daughter counts down to action. Sophie was in full director mode. She had drawn a storyboard on a whiteboard. A whiteboard, with markers and arrows. There were cue cards. There was a theme. Dad tries Gen Z food trends. Okay, she said, bouncing with excitement. First, you eat a pickle wrapped in a fruit roll-up and dipped in tagine. I stared at the monstrosity on the plate like it might crawl away. Sophie, that looks like something that escaped from a laboratory. She giggled. Trust me, you have to react naturally. That's what people love, your honest expressions. Because nothing says dignity like gagging on camera, I muttered, picking up the sticky neon green abomination. She hit record. I took a bite. The taste was indescribable, like a sweet, spicy, vinegary crime against my taste buds. I made a face, somewhere between betrayal and indigestion, and Sophie burst out laughing behind the camera. By the next day, the video had 1 million views. And just like that, I wasn't just the towel guy anymore. I was officially Dad the Content. The next few weeks were a blur of challenges, trends, and moments that danced the fine line between comedy and chaos. I lip-synced to audio clips I didn't understand. I tried to make whipped coffee and accidentally blended the lid. I danced, if you could call it that, to something called the Greedy Gritty, which, spoiler alert, I still don't get. But here's the thing, it stopped feeling like I was just humoring Sophie. Somewhere along the line, I started enjoying it. Not just the filming or the views, but her. Us. The way she lit up when I nailed a punchline. The way she teased me after every failed dance move, but still high-fived me after. We were finding each other again. Before TikTok, our relationship had slowly drifted into the shallow waters of small talk. Did you do your homework? How was school? Don't stay up too late. Now we were laughing together every day. Failing together. Succeeding together. Ethan, my 10-year-old son, started hovering nearby during shoots. One day, as I finished choking on a wasabi almond for a Dad vs. Spicy Snacks video, he looked up from his juice box and said, "Can I be in one?" Sophie clapped. Yes. Baby brother guest star. And just like that, Ethan was in. His first appearance was a skit where he played my manager, coaching me through TikTok fame. Smile more, he instructed me in the video, wearing sunglasses and holding a clipboard. But not so much that you look scared. The comments adored him. Sophie started a hashtag #TinyTalentManager. Then there was Linda, my wife, the elegant one, the rock of reason in our chaotic circus. She still refused to be on camera, but became our unofficial producer. She gave feedback like, "Don't post that, you look like you're mid-seizure, and please tell me that wasn't our last clean towel." One night, after a shoot that involved juggling eggs, don't ask, I found Linda in the kitchen watching one of our videos on her phone. She didn't know I was there. I watched as she smiled softly, shaking her head, eyes full of something I hadn't seen in a while, pride. Maybe even a little awe. "You're not just making silly videos, you know," she said when she noticed me. "You're giving them memories. You're making joy out of nothing." That hit hard. Because I realized something in that moment. It wasn't about trends or views or going viral. It was about showing up. And for the first time in a long time, I was showing up for my family in a way that mattered. One Sunday evening, Sophie burst into the living room waving her phone like it was a lottery ticket. Dad, you're not going to believe this. I braced myself. Did I accidentally start another trend? Worse, she said, eyes wide. Better. Crazier. A brand wants to sponsor us. Like real money. I laughed. Is this a prank? No. They want to fly us out to LA to film a campaign called The Family Feed. Parents and kids creating content together. They saw our tortilla slap video. The tortilla slap video. Yes. The one where I flinched too early, hit myself, and fell backward into a beanbag. Classic. I looked at Linda, who had just entered with a basket of laundry. She raised an eyebrow. We're being paid for what, exactly? To be ourselves, Sophie said. Linda sat down. For a long moment, we were quiet. It was tempting. A paid trip. Recognition. Exposure. But then Sophie surprised me. She looked at her phone, then slowly turned it off. I don't think we should do it, she said softly. I stared. Wait. What? She shrugged. It's fun when it's just us. But if we start doing it for something, it won't be ours anymore. You always say not everything needs to be monetized. Maybe this is one of those things. I blinked. Speechless. Then I smiled. You've been listening to me? Unfortunately, yes. We all laughed. But beneath that, I felt a lump in my throat. Because that was the twist I didn't see coming. I started all this trying to understand her world. But somehow, in letting me in, she found the wisdom to protect what made it special. That night, we filmed a simple video. No trends. No challenges. Just us sitting together, eating ice cream on the couch, sharing one thing we were grateful for. Ethan, I'm grateful for beanbags. Sophie, I'm grateful for you guys. Linda, I'm grateful this house is still standing. Me? I said, I'm grateful for the noise. Because for years, I thought peace meant silence. But now I know, real peace is laughter echoing through the halls, even if it's accompanied by bad dancing, ringing notifications, and the occasional flying tortilla. We didn't go to LA. We didn't sign with any brand. But we got something better. We got each other. And honestly, that's the kind of viral I'll never get tired of.